Today I'm going to talk about Atelier Ayesha, a game in a series that is near and dear to someone's heart that isn't me. In fact, I have played approximately 2 to 3 hours of, I think, the first game in the series, and this is like 9 or 8. Yeah, they just kind of keep coming out. They're all Atelier something. Except, when they're not. Atelier means a workshop where a master and possibly apprentices get together to perform their craft. And in this case, Ayesha refers to a moron. She even sleeps like an idiot. And on this journey, the moron is joined by her lesbian not wife, Regina. Regina's like our older sister who wants to grope us. And a witch who does not perform any duties in the story named Wilbel. She just shows up to be weird waifu bait and then does nothing and is always in the party. At one point, I do believe you get this cool guy named Heathgriff for about the last 2 hours of gameplay. So it's pretty worth it to get the coolest guy in the game who can kick magic at people right at the end. Now, it's important to note that I have, as I mentioned, I played a couple hours of the first one. I have played exactly 0 minutes and 0 seconds of this game, so I feel very qualified to give you my full review of it. It had a pretty lengthy story that kind of dragged on, but the combat was pretty alright and made it somewhat worthwhile to go through. You only get 3 people in your party at a time for combat, but eventually you can swap them in and out, keep the party you want, so you can keep Wilbel in there so that, I don't know, you can feel like she's doing something, I guess. Sometimes people just come and go from your party. Sometimes you notice the same voice actors, they're everywhere. Because you're having Regina talk to herself over the woes of literally a cow. And your party has stopped to help this cow. That's just a thing that happens in these kind of Atelier games. They're not really about saving the world. They're just about, you gotta shop. Do some alchemy. And of course, being that the game's subtitle is The Alchemist of Dusk. Watch while my camera does not focus on that. You're, of course, play as a character who has never heard of alchemy, and being that Ayesha, you, is a moron, and you don't know what alchemy is, obviously you're the world's greatest alchemist, and everyone wants you to do their alchemy, so that gives you lots of crafting options for something that your character has no idea how to do at first, and opens up a pretty nice crafting system for you to play with over the course of the game. And it expands pretty well, and you get some good options in there. It's just a little weird that, people would be asking this stuff of her when she's never heard of it before in her life. But, that's what makes her the Alchemist of Dusk. Because she's better at it than everyone else for actually no reason. Then the game kind of just ends. To my knowledge, there's no sequel. It just stops after a little bit, and you move on with your life. And then I guess you go play Atelier Totori, or Atelier Verona, or Atelier... Are there any more?
Yeah.
Like what?
Loki.
That's not a word.
RZA?
RZA? Like the RZA?
RYZA, I think. I don't know.
Okay, so not the rapper.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Okay. So, well, maybe stay tuned for my review of Atelier the RZA. I'll see if Atelier Ghostface Killer is out there too. Can I just take an extra minute after this to say how weird it is? And I wasn't joking when I said Ayesha and her weird lesbian friend Regina. They actually do take a moment at one point to say, wow, you'd make a great wife. Too bad you can't marry girls. Ha ha. And then they walk away. They just kind of touch that subject and then leave it. Could have been like an interesting story point, but the game series doesn't really try anything too innovative, so they didn't want to go there. Could have been cool.